Hello and welcome back to Suspense Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is a special edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off called Sunday Morning Blast Off. Welcome, everybody. Yes, it is Sunday instead of Saturday. I had to do water heater stuff, and it's going to be the same thing next week as well because wrong water heater. So, I have no water for the rest of the week. Or no hot water, I should say, for the rest of the week, which is awesome. But you're not here for that. You are here for news, some genre news. Let me take care of some business first, and then I'll get into it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you're going to see the very end of this video, a video pop up here. And basically what ends up happening is YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. Up here will be Harley Quinn. That's right. Harley Quinn will be up there. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at my weekly live stream schedule that's up there, and also all the links to my social media. So it's Twitter, Instagram, Patreon page. No tier set up as of yet on the Patreon page. But I also mirror this schedule on my Facebook page as well. And there is a Facebook group page, which you guys can, join, post stuff, and talk amongst yourselves instead of just me doing it all the time. So, all right. Hey, Pen, you'll be mostly lurking today. Okay, that's what's going on. That's what Viking Bitch was saying. So, I'm just going to jump straight into it. Those stragglers can, they're going to be straggling. So, back in March, you may remember that I talked a little bit about a female-centric Star Wars series being put on by Disney Plus by one of the writers of Russian Doll. She was the creator and writer, co-creator and writer of Russian Doll. Well, it looks like that series that we keep talking about is going to be an Ahsoka Tano series. And of course, we already know that Rosario Dawson is supposed to be in The Mandalorian season 2. This week we had 2 more big stars that were actually cast for season 2 of The Mandalorian. One, Katee Sackhoff, who was already voicing the character that she's going to be playing in. She voiced the character in animation, and now she's going to be playing the character in live action. She's going to be playing Bo-Katan Kryze. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. And she's going to be doing the live action version of that, which is awesome. And then the other big name that we just got, with no confirmed as to who he's playing, Timothy Olyphant, is supposed to be in season 2 of The Mandalorian as well. So what does that mean? So if you connect all the dots along the way, like I said, this goes back to March, and we know that there's been rumors of an Ahsoka Tano series where she is going to be searching for Ezra Bridger, who of course disappeared with Thrawn at the end of Rebels. And her and Sabine Wren were, basically going through the galaxy looking for Ezra and Thrawn. If you take a look at the thumbnail that I put on for this video, Timothy Olyphant, that was the first thing that struck me as I saw his, when I know who Timothy Olyphant is, obviously. I've watched Justified, pretty much everything he's been in, I've pretty much watched. The first thing I thought of was he would make an excellent Thrawn. And if they're going to do an Ahsoka Tano live action series, my guess is he's going to be Thrawn. So what does that mean for, season 2 of The Mandalorian? How is he going to be snuck in? Easy. He's under Grand Moff, basically the guy who had the dark saber. He was working for Thrawn. That's all you have to do right there. Yeah. Elephant in the room. Is that what you're saying, Philip Demick? I don't understand what the elephant's for. Unless you're calling me an elephant, which, I've got choice words for you too. So yeah, very interesting. That is where I'm heading with this, mindset wise. Also, supposedly we're going to have Sabine Wren in there. No casting decision has been made yet on Sabine Wren, unless they're going to cast Timothy Olyphant as Sabine Wren, which I highly doubt. But that would be interesting, but kind of confusing though at the same time. So yeah. Can Timothy Elephant do a convincing English accent though? He doesn't need to. He can do it with a Kentucky drawl. No one knows who the fuck Thrawn is anyway, and outside of the animation people and some of us Star Wars people as well. The normals out there who are watching Disney Plus don't know who the fuck Thrawn is, quite honestly. So you can reintroduce this character any way you want to, even though yes, he is canon because of well, is he now canon because of Rebels? It is Disney owned, but was I don't know. I don't know at this point if Thrawn is still canon or not. Yeah, actually, he is. He is canon. I had to go back and my Disney. I had to do my Disney math there for a second to see when they put out Lucasfilm and Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Timothy Elephant. Oh, okay, got it. As Thrawn and the X-wing versus Tie Fighter people. Yeah, the X-wing versus Tie Fighter. That is a good way to sum it up, honestly. Well, not everyone has X-wings. I mean, only the pilots, I guess you can say, the elite pilots have X-wings. Hey, Joker. So yeah, that's where I'm heading with that. Is that Timothy Elephant is playing Thrawn? We already know that Katee Sackhoff, of course, is playing Bo-Katan, which is awesome, by the way. And yeah, I'm wondering who they're going to get as Sabine, and I'm wondering if since it looks like we're going to have a flashback of Thrawn, are we going to get a flashback of Ezra Bridger as well? And who are they going to get to play Ezra Bridger? And what age is Ezra Bridger going to be at this point? Because that's going to be an interesting thing to as well. I guess they're going to skew like young 20s or something like that. Uh, you know, most likely. Apple Crow says Disney can claim things are canon, but the fans have to accept canon. Yeah, it's all make believe anyway. Apple Crow. I believe that's one of the Disney execs said. He says it's all made up anyway. Which he's right, but you don't need to be a dick about it. I mean, come on. I understand he was frustrated and everything, but come on. You don't need to be that big of a dick about it. Philip A. Demick says Thrawn was the best part of the LucasArts PC games back in the 90s, which isn't canon. Philip, that's what I'm getting at. Supposedly it's not canon according to Disney. So yeah. I heard a rumor on the net Sasha Banks may play Sabine. Who's Sasha Banks? Am I is that a porn star? Or, I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. It just sounds like a porn star name. It really does. So while you're answering me on that, I'm gonna go to the next thing here. So the first season of Swamp Thing is set to re-air on the CW. There's no mention of a second season being put in the works. It I mean, if all goes well, possibly they might revive it, but that's going to be a big undertaking. So supposedly the rumor now is the official word I should say is the reason why Swamp Thing got canceled so fast was that DC Universe or Warner Brothers, whatever, didn't want to pay for the storage of the sets down in Georgia because the storage of the sets was going to be too high, and that's why they canceled the series. I shit you not, that is what I've read. That is supposedly the official, cast or the official line that they're using now. Oh, Sasha Banks is a WWE wrestler. That could be the reason why I haven't heard of him because I don't watch WWE. Yeah, sorry, I don't. I stopped watching when I was 9. I think is when it was. um, Apple Crow says, "I'll just make believe that I'm spending money on Star Wars merch still." Yeah, exactly. When you're in Disneyland, you really don't have to pay that that fee in order to enter or to pay any fees at the cantina that they have set up there. And what else is there? I don't have it within reach, but there's actually a Star Wars. You know what? I do have it kind of in reach. I'll get it. What the hell? So your Star Wars gift cards things. That's what this is. This is actually. I'm not going to show you the back because it's got a barcode on it, but that is a Star Wars gift card. It's metal, and you can buy stuff with it at Disneyland and Galaxy's Edge and all that kind of stuff. And yes, I do have it on a lanyard because that is, that's how I roll. It just makes it easier to pay for shit when it was open, and that's what I'll be doing when it comes back to it. Yeah. Storage fees would explain at canceling second season, but not shortening the first. Yeah, exactly, Philip A. There's a lot of sketchiness to that whole thing there. Yeah. She was written out of storylines on TV recently. Oh, okay. You're talking about Sasha Banks. I don't know. Yes, I agree with you. More people do need to be exposed to Swamp Thing. Blah 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 blah. As my mouth does not want to cooperate there. So yeah, Mark Verheiden, I follow him on Twitter. He was the showrunner of Swamp Thing. He's been the showrunner of so many shows that have been canceled, so many good shows that have been canceled too. And he's either being very extraordinarily mum on this one, or he really doesn't know if there's going to be a second season or not. But yeah, we won't know until all the cards fall and lay where they are. However you want to use whatever analogy you want to use at that point. So coming up, speaking of CW, not CW, but actually DC Universe and HBO Max, June 25th, Doom Patrol Season 2 comes to HBO Max and possibly the DC Universe. We don't know for sure. The only advertisement that I've seen is HBO Max. I haven't seen anything mentioned about DC Universe, about it premiering at the same time. Early on, when they were talking about a season 2, they said, "Oh yeah, it's going to coincide with the 2." Now I haven't heard anything. All they're just saying is HBO Max, HBO Max, HBO Max, HBO Max. And I'm like, okay, it doesn't sound good for DC Universe now at this point, because now all they have is Stargirl and Harley Quinn and Titans. That's it. And Titans, I can give or take at this point. The other two, of course, I haven't seen Stargirl yet. That's tomorrow. I will be covering that. And of course, Harley Quinn is awesome. So yeah, if you're not watching Harley Quinn, you should. What was it I saw? Sci-Fi Universe is supposed to be, or Sci-Fi, Sci-Fi? Yeah, Sci-Fi is supposed to be replaying animated Harley Quinn episodes. What they're going to be doing. Philip A. Demick says, I think there might be a second Swamp Thing season of Justice League Dark movie. The Justice League Dark movie is so far off, Philip. And the whole thing was Mark Verheiden actually had things mapped out where season 2 is going to bring in more characters from the DC universe. Season 3 was going to set up Justice League Dark. And after season 3, it was supposed to roll into the movie of Justice League Dark. Yeah, he had everything already mapped out. He had everything planned. He had the book written on it and everything. And then DC Universe decided to pull the plug on it. So I have not seen Justice League Dark Apocalypse War yet. I haven't spent the money on it because I was spending it on foolish things like water heaters. Yeah. That's what was going on. That's what happens during a pandemic. You have to prioritize on what you need, and hot water is one of them. Because you need to wash your hands with fucking hot water. So they say. Actually, it's true. So All right. What else I got going on here? Oh yeah, that's right. Almost forgot about it and all this stuff. So CBS All Access has announced Star Trek Strange New Worlds as a new series, and this is going to be based on the Christopher Pike led Enterprise. Christopher Pike, of course, played by Anson Mount in, I guess, season 2 of Star Trek Discovery. So now they are spinning him off on his own series, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I'm not really, honestly, all that jazzed about it. Picard left me very, very cold on it. Star Trek Discovery, I just refused to watch past the first episode because it was just like, bleh. And I heard good things about Anson Mount as Christopher Pike, but I really just don't, I'm not spending money on another service in order to watch, one show. Not worth it. Apple Crow says, is this the franchise wars? Is Taco Bell hoeing to launch a streaming service? Are they going to launch a streaming service? Oh, okay. I thought you were asking for hose there for a minute there, Apple Crow. I wasn't too sure. They might be. I wouldn't be surprised. Taco Bell, KFC, pronounce a new Spike Lee joint based on the works of Tim Robbins and Harry Harrison, the Harry Harrison Foundation. Some fucked up shit right there. That would be. KFC, Taco Bell, Amazon. And speaking of HBO Max again, they're developing the Stephen King and Joe Hill novella Throttle into a movie. So what is Throttle? So if you don't know, Joe Hill is Stephen King's son. They got together, wrote a novella about a father and son bikers that are, they're in a gang, they're in a bike gang, and they are being terrorized by a by a semi truck or something like that on a stretch of road. And I was like, yeah, and are people actually going to be compelled by this to watch it as a movie? But HBO Max is doing the movie on it, so there you go. Not too sure about that one either, quite honestly. I'm not a big fan of Joe Hill. I'm not a big fan. I mean, other than Lock and Key is great, but I don't think that's all Joe Hill. I think that's actually the writing partner that he was paired with on that one. Stephen King, on the other hand, I really don't want to see anything from him pretty much ever again. I'm done with it at this point. His stuff has been done so many times that I don't need to see any more of it. If I want to watch any of it, it's already out there. There's stuff going back to the 70s that, I can watch. Yeah. Joker says Taco Bell spends more money a couple of years ago with Josh Jamal. Oh yeah, he did. They did spend money on those Josh Jamal commercials for their fries. They were okay. Those fries, they weren't that much. Mount can't save a Kurtzman Goldman production. Yeah, I know. Apple Crow. I'm a fan of Anson Mounts. I dig him. He's a good actor and everything. But yeah, I don't think you can save that whole franchise thing either. I mean, really, does CBS All Access have? I haven't seen what the count is on the amount of subscribers that they have. I know they don't have anywhere near Disney's numbers, and Disney started after them. Yeah, Disney started after CBS All Access, and I think has like, far more subscribers than CBS All Access does. Yeah. Just, I mean, there's really nothing on there to watch unless you like CBS shows, and quite frankly, I'm not 70 yet. So, yeah, I'm not a septuagenarian. There we go. If I could actually say that correctly. So Disney Plus, this is mostly all like Disney Plus, HBO Max news that's going on. Disney Plus is gonna be doing the Percy Jackson series as a live action series based on the books this time. They're not, doing what the movies did, I guess, and taking the series out of order and, doing only excerpts and things like that, but they were actually taking the entire books. They're actually using the book author as, I believe, he's a producer on it, if I'm not mistaken, and also one of the writers. So, yeah, there we go. I read somewhere CBS Online supposed to relaunch the paywall. They already did, Joker. They only had a 1 month free access. They never put down their paywall. Their paywall's been up all this time. So yeah. Penn says it's the only good decision I've heard them make, and I'm sure they'll waste Mount too. Yeah, I agree with you. Something else? You want something else? Hey, Mufu. Blah, 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 blah. I'm having problems speaking today. I don't know what the fuck it is. Hey, Movie Fanobi. You know what it is? It's Sunday. I'm off my routine. I'm thrown a little bit here. It's Sunday morning. It's actually quiet outside. Now that I've said that, of course, the little bastards are going to come out. So, yeah. Yes, it does, Movie Fanobi. It really does. But I'm going tankless water here because that's the way to go when you're in a condo. And I'll have continuous hot water after this, thankfully. So AMC has acquired the rights to the works of Anne Rice. So this is the Vampire Chronicles and the Mayfair Witches and all that kind of, stuff. Not her religious crap, I guess. Uh so yeah, they're just doing the whole Vampire Chronicles and the witches of Mayfair and all that. So that is kind of interesting. Um maybe about 20 years too late, but sure, go for it. I mean, I'm probably not going to watch any of it. Um, it's on AMC one, and AMC tends to, yes, they've pushed the limits on a few things, especially with Walking Dead and all that. But I really don't see them. I don't see they can go where Anne Rice's early vampire novels have gone on cable. I don't think they can do it. So yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, movie Fanobi. So there you go. Anne Rice Vampires on AMC. Why? Who knows? So July 15th, Audible is going to have they're gonna release the Sandman audio. Sandman. So this is Neil Gaiman's Sandman. And they have a pretty damn impressive voice cast going on here. Let me call it up real quick and I can tell you who it is. So they have Riz Ahmad, Kat Dennings is going to be playing Death, Taron Egerton, Neil Gaiman, of course, is going to be the narrator. James McAvoy is in it, Samantha Norton, Baby Newworth, Andy Serkis, Michael Sheen. That's just to name a few. So there's going to be a shit ton of voice actors for this thing. That's going to be released on July 15th. That is, I think it takes the first three Sandman Chronicles, and that's what they're going to be reading. And they're going to, of course, be doing the voices of the characters and all that kind of stuff as they're doing this. Um, it sounds interesting. Again, I'm not a Gaiman fan on this one, but for those of you who are, you might want to take a look at it. It's over on Audible, is where it's going to be at. I don't get any money for that, by the way. I'm not promoting it or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys what's out there. If you're interested, and you guys can find it out, I'll sell. Blah, blah, you can find it on your own. There you go. Yes, that's right. Movie for Nobody. They only bought the syndication rights for Swamp Thing. And yeah, if they are going to be doing that, but thanks for catching up on that one. I know you're watching earlier, and then yeah, but yeah. So this was kind of interesting. Charlize Theron, of course, this is the 5th anniversary of the release of Mad Max Fury Road, which is a great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen it, fucking go and watch it. That's actually a good movie. And both Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy have done interviews with people talking about the frustrations of working on that film and the frustrations with George Miller, because George Miller, of course, had that movie in his head. He couldn't tell people what it was. He had to show people what that movie was. That included his actors. So his actors, I guess Tom Hardy was screaming at George Miller for a good majority of filming that movie because he was so frustrated, and he was really just well, he was also he had a lot of angst going on because he was filling Mel Gibson's shoes for that. And then, of course, he wasn't talking any of this out with Charlize Theron, who was going through her own issues, and she wasn't saying anything to Tom Hardy. And so they were very fucking miserable out in the desert as they were filming this thing. So, of course, the 5th anniversary, and now they, of course, all buried the hatchet because of they saw what the movie was, and they realized what George Miller's vision was and all this stuff. Well, George Miller's next confirmed movie is a prequel about Furiosa, but Charlize Theron has not been invited back to star in it, and she's not going to be in it at all. Of course, they're going for a younger person to play Furiosa because, of course, it's a prequel. It's not a sequel; it's a prequel, and that's his next movie. I'm all for it, quite honestly. George Miller is up there in years, and I want him to pump out as many. I know he's got like 4 Mad Max movies in his mind already as to what he wants. At least that's what he said in an article like 5 years ago. And he has written scripts for all of these. Like, this one, Fury Road, was written back in the 90s. He had already written this thing out and had it ready to go. And, the whole thing that happened with his Justice League movie, that's what got him to make Fury Road because of all that dealing. Movie for Novi, I'm okay if she's not in it. It's a prequel. And also, it's George Miller. George Miller is the pinnacle of directing. If you look at Fury Road, it's a nonstop action. It's just nonstop action. That's all it is. And it's a coherent story, and it's a compelling story, and it's a character-driven story as well. You actually get your characters fleshed out in that. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And yeah. Mufino says she made the movie, not Hardy. I liked Hardy's version of Max, to tell you the truth. Yes, he wasn't in it much, and yes, I agree that she made a good majority of it, but I thought it was the whole ensemble, quite honestly. It was everybody all together in that. Even the minor characters, quite honestly, they all made they all worked. I mean, the dude up on the bungee cords with the flaming guitar, I mean, that's a character in and of itself. And yes, they are making a sequel to Atomic Blonde on Netflix. Yes, they are. Her production company is involved in that. So that could also be the reason why she's not doing this as well. Because she's going to be starring in that, and also her production company is running. Well, her production company also did the first one as well. And that's another good movie too. If you haven't seen Atomic Blonde, go and watch it. It's got another killer fight scene in there. That is a one take killer fight scene in the stairwell, and it's going down the stairs as it's happening, and it's like, holy fuck. And it's like 5 minutes long. That thing just goes on, and it's good. If you are a fan of action films, that is one to watch. Mufinobi says, I think I mentioned I was disappointed that she was pulled off of the Obi-Wan series, but I think Dennis mentioned that she may be used for the Ahsoka series or something. For who are you talking about? Charlize Theron or somebody else? Stanley Tweedle says, I'm out of the house once, and Dennis is starting on time. Well, you know what? It's because it's Sunday. It's not Saturday, Stanley Tweedle. So what happens is on Fridays, I come in after work, I do a podcast, and then I'm so burned out that I don't want to work on anything else. I don't want to do more work on top of the 2 jobs I already did. I want to relax for a little bit, and so then I don't get to work on Saturday morning blast off until Saturday morning, and then I kind of run over a little bit, and I usually, I have to tweak it just a little bit by half an hour. There you go. That's how the sausage is made. So, oh, Joe asked about Deborah Chow. I'm thinking that Deborah Chow is going to go over to the Ahsoka Tano series. I believe that's the reason why she's pulled off the Obi-Wan series. Move, Finobi. After watching Disney Gallery, if you haven't watched Disney Gallery, so there's a whole bunch of shit to watch that's on right now. Disney Gallery on Disney Plus is the directors of all the episodes, the showrunners of The Mandalorian, talking about The Mandalorian and their love of Star Wars and how they did things. And Deborah Chow is there and talking about how much she loves Star Wars. And again, you can put 2 and 2 together and all these things. Favreau talking about how he picked people, how he likes how certain people think about things. I will bet you dollars to donuts that they pulled Deborah Chow off the Obi-Wan series in order to work on the Ahsoka Tano series, which Dave Filoni is going to be the showrunner of. So there you go. Yes, Bryce is coming back for more episodes in season 2, Apple Crow. Bryce Dallas Howard is supposed to be, from what I understand, at least 1. Yeah. Has movie anywhere option. Atomic Blonde. Yeah. Yeah, I have a digital version of Atomic Blonde to someplace. I know I have my physical copy. Then I also have the digital copy too. No, fuck no. Keep Jonathan Frakes away from The Mandalorian. He can go and do another episode of, Star Trek Blowjobs or something like that out there for CBS All Access. That man is a hack. He is not what Star Wars needs or The Mandalorian needs. Yes, I know you did it to get a rise, but yes, that fucking coke fiend can go and alleged coke fiend, excuse me, can go and direct shit over there at CBS All Access. No, it's a live action Ahsoka series, Stanley Tweedle. That's why if you take a look at the thumbnail that I have here, so the old news is Rosario Dawson is supposed to be playing Ahsoka Tano in one of the episodes of The Mandalorian season 2. And then of course there's subsequent casting going on right now for other stuff too. Boba Fett's coming back for The Mandalorian season 2. You can have Bo-Katan, most likely Thrawn. Yeah. So there you go. All right. What else do I have here? I only have a couple things left, so I'm trying to figure out what order I want to do them in because I don't want to end on a downer. Yeah, okay. So the Lost Boys, I don't know if you remember the Lost Boys was going into a series over at CW. So they did a first pass at it with an all-female cast. That got canceled by CW. CW was like, nope, do it like the movie. We don't want to see this shit. It's horrible. So Rob Thomas went back and did a second take of this as, with the boys in it and all that kind of stuff. And that's been passed over as well. So 2 times now, Lost Boys has not been picked up by the CW, which is fairly surprising because this is the place that has Riverdale on it. Instead, what vied for that one spot that was in contention is a female-led modern-day take on David Carradine's Kung Fu. And I call it David Carradine's Kung Fu because it was stolen from Bruce Lee, pretty much. And the that version that we saw in the 70s was not Bruce Lee's version. Bruce Lee's version is actually being done over on Cinemax called Warrior, and by his daughter Shannon Lee, and it's fucking badass. So yeah, we don't have to deal with a female-led version of Lost Girls or Lost Boys, whatever it is. We don't have to deal with Lost Boys at all, which is good because that does not need to be touched. And we had a female-led modern-day take on Kung Fu. Supposedly, she goes off into the mountains, Tibet or something like that, learns Kung Fu, and then comes back to find out there's injustices in her town that are going on, and she kicks ass accordingly. Supposedly, that's what I've been reading as a synopsis. Yeah, I'm kind of over that kind of shit, you know. A hero goes off to whatever country, learns martial arts in 2 years, 3 years, something like that, comes back and sees injustices in their town and kicks ass. Wasn't that the whole first season of Arrow? Wasn't that the whole thing that happened? Wasn't he gone for like 5 years? He learned a whole bunch of martial arts and shit, came back to his town, saw a whole bunch of injustice. Wasn't the whole tagline was "You have failed the city"? If you kick someone's ass, they don't want to be evil again. Exactly, Apple Crow. That's the cure for that's the cure for evil is you kick someone's ass. Yep, Walking Tall, you name it. There's been a shit ton of TV shows and movies that have dealt with that. And pass. I'll pass on it. I don't need to see that. And not because it's female led, but because the story's so fucking hackneyed. Quite honestly, I don't need to see that shit. Yeah. Or the Lost Boys. Don't need that either. So Gendy Tartakovsky, if you've been watching my show, you know that I love Gendy. He, of course, is doing Primal on Adult Swim. He's been working on an animated Popeye movie since 2011. He's been trying to get this thing going. And it's been, of course, off the radar at this point because I think he was going to be doing with Netflix or something like that, and they dropped the ball. But now it's back on again with King Features. So King Features, of course, who was doing the comic strips that you saw in the newspapers every day and all that kind of stuff, are supposedly backing him to do an animated Popeye movie. I want to see that, to tell you the truth. I want to see an animated Popeye movie from Tartakovsky because that just seems like it'd be fucking awesome. I love his animation style. He's, of course, the guy who's done Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, things like that, and Primal. And yeah, I would love to see a Popeye done in Samurai Jack style. That would be fucking awesome. Hey, HR. Yeah, that would be fucking awesome. But if only. Who knows? Again, like I said, he's been trying to make this since 2011. So more power to you, man. Hopefully it gets done. That guy's had the worst luck. I mean, he has had the worst luck with getting stuff done. I followed his career for a long time, and I mean, he was supposed to start off an animation company with The Orphanage. So The Orphanage was a group of ILM animators who split off from ILM to make their own stuff, and they started off pretty strong. I mean, they were doing visual effects for Superman Returns and things like that, The Matrix and everything. And then they had some financial difficulties just as Tartakovsky was supposed to be running the spin-off division of The Orphanage, which was the animation department, and they ran out of money and gone. And he went with that one. and he had all these different projects that he had set up, and they all kind of failed. Then he started doing Hotel Transylvania. He got those movies made from at Sony and started gaining some money so he could do his own stuff. And yeah, just go to the library. You know what? The original Popeye cartoons are great, but I want to see some new stuff. Ejar, tell you the truth, I really want to see stuff in the style of Tartakovsky, how he's going to do this. So yeah. And olive oil will not rescue Popeye from Bluto. Good God, Philip Demick. And by the way, it's oil, OYL, not OIL. For those of you out there who are paying attention. Yes. With her brother castor oil. Yes. There's a whole joke on that. That was. And if you haven't seen the 1980 Robin Williams Popeye movie, I highly recommend that one as well. Yes, it is a musical. Yes, it is funny. And yes, it is good. It's really damn good. Trust me, Stanley, he could do it. If anyone can do it animation wise, he could do it. I mean, yeah, he'd be the one that would be able to do it. They're not going to be doing those kind of jokes, Ejar. They're going to be doing their own stuff. So, yeah. And have you seen it, Stanley? That's all I'm going to say. If you haven't seen it, don't knock it till you try it. Yeah. All right. So for the last thing that I've got going on today is Team Downey, which of course is Robert Downey Jr. and his wife. Their production team called Team Downey. They are doing the adaptation of the comic Sweet Tooth as a series, and that was originally supposed to be at Hulu, but Hulu, I guess, didn't pick them up or what was going on. Basically, I think they were in limbo hell at that point, and they're now over at Netflix, but still no word yet if it's animated or if it's live action. I'm guessing it's going to be animated. It's going to be kind of tough to do live action. It'd be an ambitious live action series if they were going to do that. But Sweet Tooth, of course, is the story of a boy with antlers um, living in a post-apocalyptic world, and it's kind of a weird story, but it's also kind of sweet story as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what that's going to be like. It's going to be on Netflix, so sure, what the hell? Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I got for you guys. That was it in the, terms of news that was out there this week. There's some few other things here and there, but most of it was rumor from clickbait sites and things like that. So I didn't end up doing that. Stanley Twill says, I read the comic up to a point. It is weird and depressing. Yes, it is a little depressing, but a lot of good stuff is. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of, well, I'm going to be covering Stargirl tomorrow. That speaking of depressing. No, I don't know. I honestly don't know what it's going to be like. I'll cover the first episode, see what happens. And then we'll go from there. And of course, Tuesday is going to be Future Man. Wednesday is going to be Is It Worth My Time? Joker. Yes, I'm going to be covering Joker, which I saw yesterday. Thursday, I'm off. Friday is going to be Harley Quinn. Saturday, I'm going to be off again because I'm going to be installing the water heater. Hopefully, I have hot water on Saturday. And then Sunday is going to be another episode of Sunday Morning Blast Off. Yes, we'll see how Sunday is. Yeah. It's the DC universe, by the way, Stanley Tweedle. It's not CW. CW will be the next night, so it'll be on Tuesday nights is when CW will be airing Stargirl. So I'm going to be watching the DC Universe version. I'm not going to be watching the CW version. Considering you can watch all the CW version stuff for free on the CW app. Yeah. A day later, something like that, Honestly, it's just not worth it for some stuff. I mean, Arrow thankfully is gone. Flash should be gone. The only thing that's worth watching on the CW right now, besides the first season of Swamp Thing that's coming back, is Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow is the only thing that is fucking flat out fun. It really is. It doesn't take itself seriously. It brings in a whole bunch of characters from all over the DC universe, which is awesome. And sure, the stories can get ridiculous, but the thing is they call it out that they're being ridiculous within their own show, which is really kind of cool. And that's pretty much the only one that I like watching. Black Lightning, it's not going all that well. Yeah. What is the difference? It's the same show. They could edit some stuff out, Stanley Tweedle. So DC Universe does not have any restrictions like that. So they can show nudity, they can have swearing, they can have violence, like ultra violence kind of stuff. And of course, the CW can't. They need to conform to prime time scheduling standards. So they have to edit any of that stuff out. I agree with you, HR. Legends is the closest to a comic book show. It really is. Yeah. Apple Crow says it'll be interesting to see how you feel about Joker, Dennis. Eh. I already know how I feel about Joker, Apple Crow. And yeah, let's just say it's going to be a good one. Oh, sorry, it was involuntary. Fuck. Yeah. So, yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything for you guys. Uh, no, I didn't actually, Ejar. I went in with a open mind on that one on Joker. I really did. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put aside all my assumptions on it. I'm gonna sit here and watch it. And yeah, I watched it. So yeah. Stargirl, on the other hand, I have a lot of assumptions already. So we'll see how that goes. Will Dennis make 4 episodes, Stargirl? That's a good question, Penn. That is a very good question. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And I'm kind of interested to see where the hell's Doom Patrol, if it's going to be on DC Universe or not, if it's just going to be on HBO Max, which isn't going to be that big of a deal because I already have HBO Go, which is supposed to be transferring over into HBO Max. So I'm just going to keep it because, yeah. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the day and let you get on with your Sunday, because that's all I got. Before he kill, I don't kill shows, damn it. So, all right, everybody. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks everyone who joined me today in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the very end of this video. You're gonna see a video pop up here. If you like that one, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe down there. If you want to know what I'm on next, you can click on the little bell down here, hit the little bell. And it's a 50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at my live stream schedule up there for the week, and also all the links to my social media that's up there as well. So, Apple Crow says I have a terrible decision to make today to finish the last game I was playing now, or pick a new one, or you have to pick a new one. I don't know what to tell you on that, Apple Crow. I have actually work to do. So, like work related work. Yes, other kind of stuff. That's what I'm going to be doing after this, which is lots of fun. Sorry, Pepper just woke up and she had bedhead, and it was just pretty funny. She was kind of looking around like, All right. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for Stargirl. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may have to live a week without any hot water because the wrong water heater was ordered. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow, and have a good one. Take care and stay safe out there.